Everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's Valerie again. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, season 8, episode 16. Um, if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I really don't know where to begin, and I know I've only started watching this show this season, and so I'm still finding out a lot about it and sort of becoming familiar with some of the programming. And it's really, I don't know how many seasons of this I can take, really, because it's sad that they've had they've had islanders come in and they've eliminated islanders, and of the four eliminations that they've had, or of the four eliminated islanders they've had, not to play the race card, but all of them have been black, and it doesn't make sense to me. And I don't understand why, for example, Amber and Ekena had to go home, because the way it was done for me, it wasn't. It's as though the producers set up Amber and Ekena to fail, because from nowhere we suddenly found out that Demi and India were attracted to one another, and then the minute that was released, then all this negative stuff. I know Amber has never really warmed up to Demi, but it wasn't as bad enough as to warrant her going home. And I think the producers have sort of edited it in the way that in the past sort of three, four episodes to make it so that Ekana and Amber were the ones that are going to be eliminated, which is really sad though, because they've sort of brought up this relationship and suddenly tarnished the other two people. That way they go home and leave the two people that are supposed to be the new relationship single so that they can. And it left a bad taste in my mouth. I know this is going to be unpopular because it seems everybody has fallen in love with the India and Demi relationship. And for me, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. Feel free to leave your comments if you are buying it. This is why I'm not buying it. Demi and Ekena were friends. Demi was in a relationship or was sort of paired up with um with Amber. And yes, he didn't get an opportunity to say anything to her. But I think when he found out she was being eliminated, if he was really that serious about telling her before she left, he should have told her, I'm sorry, this was my intention. I meant to tell you yesterday, and I don't want you to see it on TV, but I just want to give you a heads up that if you do see it on TV, this was my intention. I always intended to tell you, but I'm going to go after India just to clear the air. And the same thing, Ekene was his friend. You should have pulled him aside before he left. I know you're leaving, but I just wanted to let you know that India and I have been having conversations, and this was our plan. Because he says, he was very close friends with Ekena, but he didn't do him the courtesy of letting him know what his plans were. And to me, that left a bad taste in my mouth. One, two, the fact that everybody else was sort of moaning, "Oh, we're going to miss Amber and Ekena, we're good," and all he could think about was he kept talking about, "Oh, India, I didn't get to tell Amber about India. I didn't get." Yes, you didn't get to tell them, but at least show some concern that you're concerned that your two friends have gone, because tomorrow that could be you, or maybe it's the way that it was edited, but all it seemed like was, as Demi was saying, good riddance to bad rubbish. That's the impression I got, because all he spoke about was he never got to tell them about India, he never got to tell them about India. And then the next thing, everybody's shouting, Demi and India, Demi and India, Demi and India. And then from there they say, oh, there's a couple going to the hideaway, and he's shouting, "Send me and India." I think he was upset when they were playing the game, and Ekin-su said, "Oh, um, you know, Demi's just after the game." And I think for me personally, it's either one of two things. Demi is trying to secure his place on the show because he knows people. He's seen that maybe the audience like him and India together, or because all the other islanders have been saying that him and India make a great couple, he's decided to latch on to that in hopes that doesn't get eliminated, or he's just after hit it and quit it, as I've said before, because yes, he's attracted to India, but at least have proper conversations with her, not conversations that are so sort of um sexual in nature or sort of imply that that's all you're after. Have an in-depth conversation. This is why I times I get concerned with the editing because it leaves a lot out and you don't get the full picture. It could be they're having these conversations, but all we saw was that Demi wanted to jump India's bones. And my heart really broke when India started crying to show that she really was concerned and she would miss her friends, which I expected of Demi. Not for him to cry, but at least to show some concern that he's concerned that, his two friends have left the island. Anyway, that's me. I still don't get why the two of them went. I think there are other more boring or toxic islanders that could have left. Anyway, Tash and Andrew were busy talking and they were saying, "Oh, if you go out of one," and for me, I'm like, there's money to win at the end of the game. I don't think that's a wise decision. If you're there, you might as well stay and just, do it for the money. And then when you leave, the two of you can make up and move on with your relationship if you're that interested in one another. But anyway, that's me. Um, Ekin-su and Jay. I think Jay is catching on to Ekin-su and is realizing that Ekin-su might not be all that, and is starting to look for a way out to see if he can. I think whatever Amber said to him stuck with him, and is trying to look for a way of sort of separating himself without it becoming toxic from Ekin-su. They weren't really talking that much. They did play the game. She did kiss him a couple of times, but I think the fizzle has gone out. The excitement and whatever they were doing, where they were going to the terrace and stuff, I think that has worn out. And I can foresee the same thing happening with Demi and India if they're not smart. Anyway, we move on to Gemma and Davide. Davide is aware that he's single. He's aware that Gemma gave him a lifeline, and he doesn't seem bothered by Gemma going to make out or sleep with Luke. His only concern is that he's still on the show and he's happy with that, which I appreciate him for being honest. I did see Davide sit down and speak to Danica. I think Danica would make an ideal match for him. I wish he could give her an opportunity, but it seems people on the show are preferring to stick with their own race. So I hope he's open to the idea of Danica, and you never know what might come up. And then Danica and Luca. Danica, the shade. I love when she throws shade at Luca because Luca is just being a spoiled brat. They were playing a game and they said, "Who's clingy?" And she said, "Luca." And he was upset with that. But she said, "Yeah, he is clingy. He's clinging to Gemma, and he is clingy. He's refusing to sleep in the same bed with Danica and sleeping outside just because he wants to prove a point." And then Gemma will come and kiss him and cuddle with him, and off she goes back to sleep with Davide. And it doesn't make sense to me. And he was upset at the fact that Gemma kissed Davide. And it's like, you need to grow up, buddy. You know, you are here. She's not your girlfriend. You're just, trying to form a relationship. Out of your way to become a jackass? But that could be me. And then Paige and Jax, for me, I think are the most stable relationship at the moment. Um, they are the ones that everybody volunteered to go to the hideaway because e- Ek- um, Tammy wanted to go, but then people said you can't go because you're not you're not a couple. So they said you need to send a couple. So they went, and the producers were shady for showing the lubrication cream. And it's just I don't know why they do that, but anyway, let them enjoy themselves and we have a great time because I think there's only two couples at the moment that are in a relationship. Tash and Andrew have already been there, so that would have left Jay and Ekin-Su and Paige and Jax. And I think Jay wasn't keen to go because his name with Ekins was brought up, but it suddenly fizzled away. And then eventually they just went to Jax and Paige. I think they're going to have a stable relationship. I can foresee their relationship going further than the show, but hey, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.